Hey y'all, it's Red and welcome to Rougewood. We're cooking a Cajun style chicken and sausage gumbo today. I'm about to put this in the oven. So right now we're about to make some stock. I've got a bunch of chicken here I'm about to debone and get some vegetables going, show you how that works. So first I'm going to put some celery in there. I don't have regular carrots, so I'll just throw these baby carrots in there. They're great, you don't have to clean them. Then we're going to start with this chicken. Try to pull the good stuff off, and you could eat this. This is so good, but what we're looking for is the bones. Last night it got below freezing, so I brought the pot outside from the oven, ensuring that I didn't catch any bacteria between, I don't know, you can look it up, but I think it's 40 and 140 degrees. A little more deboning, it's falling off of the bone, which is great. It's good and bad, because then it's going to get mixed up with stuff that we don't know if we want. But we got 10 pounds of chicken here for, I think, $10. It was really quite a bargain. I normally buy whole chickens, but they are so much more difficult to deal with. This is, I think, all dark meat, which is the best anyway. If you like flavor, if you like dry, white things, then well, the other part of the chicken and other fowl, turkey for instance, white meat can be really good if you fry it. Dark meat's good any way you cook it. In this case we had a bunch of chicken legs and they were really easy. We didn't have to do any extra work to get them in the pot. We just browned them and then arranged them in there with the vegetables and let it rip. If you had a whole chicken, you'd end up with some white meat and the gumbo would be just fine. So just use whatever you have in a typical gumbo fashion. Looks like I put about a cup in there. And what you need, the key is going to be this right here. Now, usually I like to make a roux in a pan like this because it's non-stick and it's way more better for not burning it. But in this case, this is just going to have to suffice. This good coon-ass pot here, we call this a Dutch oven because it's got this nice top. We roasted the bird yesterday. In the oven, you can start it on the stove and then finish it in the oven. I'm going to be liberal with the oil here. Definitely need some lube in this situation. Lube up this pot. Now these pots are not, see, I'm looking at this roux and I'm feeling like there's not enough. I don't know if that's real or perceived, but I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Okay, there we go. We used 2 cups. Hitchhiked her way across the USA, plucked her eyebrows on the way, started cooking a butter roux, and then she said, "Hey, Red, when's the butter part come?" She says, "Hey, Red, when's the butter part come?" Red said, "Later, 'cause butter burns, baby." But you put butter in anything that you want to taste good. So if you're trying to make a vegan roux, well, I don't know why. Animal fat is good for your brain. So if you don't want old timers disease, just make sure you get plenty of animal fat. And that's going to start with butter. Okay, what we're doing here is just letting the roux cook. You can see a lot of heat coming through. Got the right amount of oil, the right amount of flour, and I'm doing a controlled burn. As the roux gets darker, not technically burned, but darker, we're going to go ahead and add some butter. And the butter doesn't cook for very long, so you have to hurry up and get the vegetables in. Okay, I've already cut up one pound onion, 1.5 of these or more. So we've got 1.5 pounds of onions. I wanted to go ahead and let you all know that green bell peppers are the worst bell peppers that you can get. So I normally like to buy these colored ones. And this is how I peel them. Like that. I just don't like the green ones. I learned that late in life that that they were not the best ones. So if you're a green bell pepper farmer, I'm sorry about your luck. I would plant these. These are more expensive because they taste better, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and wash these off to get some of these seeds out of here. Just taking opportunity to just go ahead and get this celery off my cutting board. And then I'm going to show you the creative way I cut the bell peppers, or whatever they're called. We call them bell peppers down south, Sha. You get the bell peppers because they dip it in them jalapeno peppers or them other kind of peppers, them serrano peppers, whatever. They're all in the pepper family, but the green ones are not the ones you want. But if that's all you've got, that is the traditional way to do this. Straight to the cook. Speaking of Walter White, we're working on the vegetable trinity here, which is celery, onion, and bell pepper, Sha. I've cooled the roux down by adding the vegetables and a half pound of butter. So we got our red, yellow, and orange Roy G. Biv here. And I'm just going to kind of cut these long ways so I can start my choppering session. I could give you some pointers on using a knife. First thing you want is you want a really sharp knife. This is a Damascus steel knife. Just look up Damascus and you'll know, but it's fancy. People like to look at it, but it's also how they make samurai swords, which are known for chopping things in half, which is what we're doing here. We got these peppers, and a sharp knife will give you lots of confidence in your ability until you get too crazy, and then it'll take all of your confidence just straight away. Let's just go straight out the window once you get too crazy with it. But when it's sharp, you don't have to push down on it very hard, and that's why dull knives are more dangerous than sharp knives. The old oxymoron there. Is that an anecdote, an allegory, or an oxymoron? I just like to say moron. But it's kind of like Cristobal Colon, you know, the evil white guy that, air quotes, discovered the Americas, or, you know, he was not the first white guy here. I think we know Vikings were a little bit more prolific than the church. But anyway, the Vikings were really the explorers and the conquerors. However, his name was Colon, and I think you all know what a colon is. So the Puritans that discovered this place, they had to change his name from Ass to Columbus. But his name isn't even Columbus, so if your name is Columbus, you could also double as an ass. So here we go with this roux, and then you can see how beautiful it is as we turn the heat back up a little bit. It is plenty juicy, See, it's not sticking. I've got this beautiful non-stick. Of course, the traditional Kunas way is to, by the way, it's okay to say Kunas if you are one. And my mother's father is from the west side of the river, Donaldsonville, actually. Kunas is really too broad of a term to, really too complicated to define in just one episode of me cooking a gumbo, so stay tuned for more clarity. Okay, the stock is looking really, really good. So what we're gonna do is ladle some out. We're gonna ladle some out into the Dutch oven and use this little handy dandy strainer here. You see it's boiling immediately because we've got considerable amount of heat built up with our roux and the cast iron pot. The only good things about the cast iron pot is that it holds a lot of heat. There's nothing good about cleaning it. You can see around here it's rusting, which is kind of good for you, you know, a little iron. But if it doesn't rust, then that just means you left the dirt on it, and we call that seasoning. I can tell you that I made too much roux, so you don't need 2 cups, just in case you were wondering. This is going to be really thick and gourmet. I'm pretty sure when you go to the Michelin place to get tires and gumbo, they serve a thicker, any kind of a soup. It's going to be thicker. I did what I could to get some color into it, and that's mostly just for the psychological implications of eating it. The darker it is, ultimately, the more flavor there is, the richer it is. It's just like the dark meat or the white meat. White meat just doesn't make the cut. We're actually making the beginnings of a demi-glaze, which is just some French stuff. You can see all the bones and the good stuff in here. This right here is the secret. This stock pot over here on the right is the most important part of this equation. I'm going to turn it back up, get it rolling, and come over here, cross-contaminate. Actually, I don't know if this roux is too thick. I don't think there's any such thing. I just made plenty of it, and I could see how all the vegetables were kind of clumping up in a big gelatinous, caked up way that we are on our way. So I'm on my way, I'm on my way, gumbo at home. Tonight, I'm on my way, I'm on my way, gumbo home. Do you know that one? All right, so here we are with some of the final ingredients. I wanted to show you what we've got. We are still making the most important part, stock. Got it turned down. It's been rolling. We've added water 3 or 4 times. Then we've got the body itself, the gumbo. What ends up being 3 3/4 pounds of chicken, so almost 4 pounds of chicken. Another 1.5 pounds of sausage. So we're at about 6 pounds of meat, I guess. Not that that matters. I'm just kind of trying to help you out with these portions. Back here we've got the original au jus from roasting the chickens in this pot. Green onions, breakfast sausage, and more importantly, this andouille. Shooting in 0.5 is so fab because you can see all of this, I think, which is great. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and okay, finishing touches on the gumbo. We're gonna make the rice, and in the real world, you make rices real easily with 2 parts water, 1 part rice. Bring it to a boil, and you turn it down to where you don't lose all the water. "20 minutes. Don't overcook it, or else you'll burn it. We've got a little bit of au jus that we'll put into taste. We're not going to put all of it in, but this is just basically some chicken fat and some, you know, oven roasted juices. It'd make a great gravy. Add a little bit of it, see how it tastes. Add the rest of this chicken. And we obviously already put some green onions in there, some andouille sausage, and some other regular green onion or breakfast sausage. Something kind of mild. I think it's going to be plenty hot with the jalapenos and the andouille. We'll test it out. We won't know till tomorrow, so we just keep cooking it, and then eventually, c'est bon. It's almost there. And then as soon as it comes to a boil, we're just gonna turn it down to like simmer to where it's just barely percolating and let it do 20 minutes. All right, we got 10-minute rice. You can make rice in 10 minutes, not 20. What you do is you get it going like it's going now, and it's starting to simmer. So as it comes up and really starts wanting to get crazy in here, then we'll turn this dial down to low or simmer. Let it go for 10 minutes. Wrap a towel around it, bring it out to your car, put it in the floorboard, drive to wherever you're going, and it'll self-cook as long as you don't take the lid off. So there you go, 10-minute rice. Whoa, my gumbo, whoa. Sweet gumbo, I'll taste tomorrow, woohoo. What do you think, Flash? I think Flash wants some gumbo. That's what I think. All right, we appreciate y'all watching. We've got this gourmet gumbo here that I'm enjoying. We added a little bit of sassafras leaves, which we call filet, gumbo filet. Ground up sassafras leaves gives it a real earthy flavor. We'll put a little bit more in there because you really can't put too much. A lot of people call this filet gumbo. So it's gourmet anyway. There's no bones in here. We're just eating the chicken and the sausage and all the good stuff. Thanks for watching.